So let me ask you something, Jim. You're running against Ashley Hinson, Congresswoman Hinson.
Yeah.
She's the only overwhelming favorite. She's been endorsed by President Trump. We understand that she guts back to the district, unlike Congressman Feenstra. It's been the rap on him, not going to forums, etc. I got him on my show tomorrow. What's your beef with Ashley Hinson?
I don't think she's the overwhelming favorite. I actually beat her in the straw poll during the caucuses across the state. It was 19 counties participated in, 1,000 voters. We beat her 54-36. She doesn't have a lock on this thing by any stretch. And
So what's your beef with? I mean, she's a sitting
she's not
congresswoman.
MAGA. John, she's not MAGA. So she actually caucused for Nikki Haley in 2024. She supported Liz Cheney after Cheney voted to impeach the president. And her endorsements from Lindsey Graham and from Mike Pence, the associations speak to who she is. She voted to continue funding a USAID and NED, and you know what that is. It's a deep state slush fund that was used against President Trump. It's probably being used up in Minneapolis right now. So, you consider those things, and when your own country's borders are being overrun and you're voting for $100 billion to Ukraine, that's not America first. She's not a legit America first candidate.
When you go out and you're talking to Iowans, tell me what they're saying.
Kevin alluded to this. I think they're feeling squeezed. I think seniors are feeling squeezed. Middle-class working families are feeling squeezed. President Trump did some good things with overtime and with helping out with Social Security and tips and things like that. But I think they're feeling squeezed economically right now because the inflation generated by massive government spending, and we need to come up. Inflation, in my view, basically is incentivized by the government as it sits right now, to the detriment of regular working people.
What's your background?
I served actually in the state house like Kevin. Kevin actually took my seat for 6 years. Did a lot of work for veterans, exposed elder abuse in the Iowa Veterans Home. The commandant there got fired. Got the Veterans Trust Fund reinvested, so it now makes 10 times as much money for veterans in need. A forced passage of the heartbeat bill, first of its kind in the nation, with 3 Senate colleagues. We basically said, if we don't get a heartbeat bill, you don't get a budget, and it worked. I wrote the state's active shooter bill. I wrote some bills to keep boys in boys' rooms and girls in girls' rooms, and radical gender ideology out of our classrooms. And I did some work on senior property tax free stuff. Like that's a big thing for them. But the housing sector, the healthcare, this, student loans, all those things, the cost of way up because of the government's involvement in those things.
Tell me about the straw poll you won. What was that?
Yeah, so with the caucuses, it's not the same as a presidential caucus, so the turnout isn't the same, right? But I think it was a sample size of about 900 or so people. And, if we didn't count our own home county, we were winning in the rest of the state by a wide margin. Our message is getting out. I mean, people know who's legit MAGA. Iowa is a MAGA state, and Iowa is an informed state.
Is it the MAGA epicenter?
You got to believe that it's right in the heart of it. I think that's well said, John.
What do you think?
Well, I was just doing some research a couple nights ago, putting AI to work and trying to figure out where the Senate districts are. In this case, I was looking at the Senate districts across the state. And Trump did really well, did better than registration. So I would say the numbers do back it up, that Iowa really went really
We're
big
here
over Trump.
because Saxman and I are here, and this bus tour's here. Only because you have to, obviously, the caucus is coming up in 2 years. We always go to those. We decided to go in the middle. But I believe that your caucus in 28 is going to pick the next president and the leader of MAGA. Yeah. I also believe that Iowa, a year ago, I thought Las Vegas was going to become the center of MAGA. I really did. We thought about buying a radio station there. We looked at it, and I don't know, it fizzled. Now I think it's Iowa. I think Iowa's now the heartbeat of MAGA, because you guys got this figured out. And this is just my 30-second narrative. Had Kim Reynolds not backed DeSantis, she would have been Trump's vice president. Right now, she'd be running for president. That was like the stupidest thing she ever did, because she would have been his VP choice. No question about it. Right now, she'd be the favorite. She'd be the favorite to win.
Absolutely.
And now she's, got to ride off in the sunset because she backed her friend, the Governor DeSantis, whose campaign it was a disaster, to say the least. The more people he met, he's a great governor, but like it was like Cruz. The more people he met, the more people didn't like him. I don't know how you figure that out. But that's what happened. But I think you guys are the epicenter. So the straw poll, you is that representative?
I think it is.
Do you have
I
enough
don't think
money
it's
to
a bad
compete?
sample size. On the money end, look, she's got the donors, and people think they elect candidates. John, you know this. They elect donors, and her votes are largely defined by her donors. That's a line that I'm not going to cross. I'm going to represent the people, and I've done that for 6 years in the State House. I did that, and the thing is this, and you just said this. Iowa didn't support McCain. Iowa didn't support Romney. Iowa did support President Trump all 3 elections, which I did. I didn't refuse to endorse him in 2020 like Ashley Hinson did, and I certainly wouldn't have dreamed of caucusing for Nikki Haley, John. So Iowa's a MAGA state, and I think when we get our case made, we get our message out, I think we're going to win.
Chris Saxon, the Nikki Haley that's a tough argument.
That is a tough one.
Like, share that.
We haven't met yet, Chris Saxman. Yeah, it is. It's a point. It's a data point. And I think we talked on one of your shows earlier this week. Politics is about the future. We can talk to past votes and great work in the legislature. I was in the House in Virginia for 4 terms, and I'd go home and say, "Here's what I did," and they go, "We don't care."
You're right.
What are you going to do for us?
Right.
And that's what politics is.
Sure.
It's always about the future. And this is why this eminent domain fight is so important, because it's about the future. It's a future-oriented, fixed point on the map politically. Like you can target that, and once you take care of that, you go on to something else, because the public is never satisfied. That's just the job. It's a complaint department, right? And
That is what it is.
It is what it is. That's democracy, right? What are you gonna do for me next? It's Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? And it's all about the future. It's all about, and what we're seeing right now, and talking to Jim
Carlin.
No. And the Mike, the guy who owns this place.
Oh, Mike Whalen.
Whalen, yeah, great guy the other day.
Great guy.
Yeah, fantastic. You want to talk about a great businessman? I said, so how's business? We were downloading for an hour about his business, how it started. But what he was talking about was his restaurant servers realizing the tax returns, since they're filing them electronically right now, they're realizing the money's coming back to them. They're going, oh my God, I'm getting this much back? These are restaurant servers. Because the no tax on tips finally is coming back to them. And that's the future. They're starting to see this. They're starting to say, oh, wait a second, what's happening here? And that's why we're here in Iowa, is to check out what's going on the ground. Iowa 4, new congressman looking like Chris McGowan's on his way here. We met him, had dinner the other night with him up in Sioux City. Great town. Really enjoyed our trip up there. So it's about the future. It's always about the future. And that's what's so, I think, powerful about American politics.
How do you beat Hinson? She has all the money. She's got Trump's endorsement. They want to win the Senate seat, obviously. So based on that, she is the favorite, straw poll or not. I've seen the other polling. She is way ahead in the public polling. So how do you turn the corner and make this a competitive race?
I don't think she's that. The public polling thing.
Yeah, they are up by 15.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that. I don't. Not from what I'm hearing.
Anyway, how do you be competitive?
So I actually started a thing called the Iowa Liberty Network, and I have people all across the states. Our grassroots ground campaign is far better than hers. I mean, we're getting out to way more places than she is. We're actually showing up for central committee meetings where grassroots engaged people show up. She's not showing up for those. She's showing up for these orchestrated events where she doesn't have to answer questions or engage with people like you, John, at all.
We did invite her on. No response.
There you go.
For the record.
What does that tell you?
Well, we invited Randy Feenstra on, and they got right back to me, and he's coming live tomorrow. So all this talk about, Feenstra doesn't engage anybody, and he isn't good. I'm just saying, he doesn't go to the forums.
Last 2 weeks.
I made one phone call. One phone call to Feenstra's chief of staff. Guy returned my call in 15 minutes and got him on live tomorrow in wherever we are. So just saying, but Hinson...
Since he didn't get an endorsement, he has been active. I will say that,
Hinson
the last
didn't-
2 weeks.
Hinson's people ghosted us.
There you go.
They ghosted us, Chris.
You're not the first media person to say that, by
They
the way.
ghosted me. Ghost. What do you think, Kevin? Let's wait in here.
Oh, just
Bring
about-
this home for us, this whole thing.
Oh, well, I mean, I think that we are going to find out. I think we are. I was in a process of figuring out that we can't just follow the money. We have to actually think about what are the principles, who's running, what are they talking about. I think that is happening. I think people are waking up. I think what happened last year opened people's eyes, and they're seeing that we have to look deeper. We've always been a state that's been grassroots, but I think we're becoming more grassroots.
Can I just add
course.
on that? So a couple years ago,
Eddie's running for governor, by the
That's
way,
right, Eddie
against
Andrews.
Randy Feenstra.
Yes.
And who's the other guy? Steve.
there's five total, right? And by the way, John, if you move to Iowa, there's still time for you to jump in. I mean, I'm just saying. We have a lot
I'm
of
running.
people-
I'm running for Ward 2 chairman in Washington D.C. I'm actually going to
Okay.
win that race.
Awesome. So let me just say,
When you come to D.C.,
I'm
visit me.
I'm there. I'll join you. Okay. 2 years ago.
Safest city in America.
Now.
It's not saying much.
Hey, I've talked to those guys. I've talked to those people when we were there in D.C. They
Safest,
love it.
most beautiful city in America. Trump has turned it in from a complete crap hole
Come
where
on.
you couldn't
There you
walk
go.
down the street. I wouldn't let my
Kudos.
wife go to the metro. It's a complete disaster to the Disneyland of the
Yeah.
North in 9 months or less.
100%.
Go ahead.
A couple
Sorry.
years ago, I started campaign finance reform because I saw, even in Iowa, the corruption train. And I just said, guys, we've got to get money out of Iowa politics. Now, I know that's a weird position to be in because I'm in politics, right? And you need dollars. But that's the only time I've ever seen a bill get its subcommittee pulled. I don't mean killed, the bill killed. I mean, we got a text that Sunday and says, you no longer have a subcommittee. That subcommittee there will be no engagement on this. And I see that all the time. And I can say that especially because Iowa is such a grassroots state. We can reach these people. It's not California where all you do is ads and postcards, right? People want to see you touch the flesh. They want to see you at the Pizza Ranch. They want to see you at the local town hall. And you can still do that. It doesn't take $50 million unless if you have the right message. I've been outspent every race that I've been in, sometimes 6-1 in a blue district, and still won because I had the powerful message that penetrated through that garbage. But we do have to get money out of Iowa politics while I'm still asking for your dollars to do that. And if I could just exit on this, and I do apologize because speaking of the future, I have a group of students who is waiting on me that I need to get to.
Never stand the students up.
Yes, I will be. It's been an honor to be on your show, John. All you guys and the staff back here. Larry, I got to get one of these buses for Eddie Andrews, but in the meantime, you guys know where to reach me, eddieandrews.com or eddie4iowa.com. God bless you. It's been a pleasure.
Eddie, thank you. And we have a straw poll out for the 2028 presidential primary here. The caucus is here. I'm going to send that to you. If you could send that out to your team,
I will
participate. I would appreciate it. Going to ask Kevin to do the same thing, and Jim to do the same thing, and Steve Holt to do the same. Send that straw poll out. We want to get people's opinion. You can rank the candidates first choice down. Just before you go, though, I learned so much today, but I also learned when you guys talk about ethanol and how your state is so dependent on it now. How does Cruz come here in next year and say, "Hey, I'm the guy that deep sixed your agriculture commissioner that Trump nominated to be deputy ag secretary, and I deep sixed them because I got my oil buddies, and screw you guys and your corn ethanol." How's he going to answer that, Kevin?
Well, I don't know. It didn't work last time. I don't see it working again.
It came pretty close, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, last time I think it worked. It almost worked, as you said, just because he was right on a number of issues that we care about. Those issues still prevail, but I don't know. I think that ship has sailed. So that's just my opinion. But I think that for Cruz, I don't think that message is going to be
But
a
how does
winning
he answer
message.
that? Because the first diner he goes to, somebody's going to ask him that. Like, how does he answer that?
Well, I think more and more people understand that you need subsidies or you may need subsidies to get things started. But as an industry matures, I mean, I don't think there are that many Iowans who think subsidies should exist for almost anything long term. And so I think that's not unlike a lot of Iowans right now. I think he meshes with a lot of Iowans, and so we'll see how far that is. But I don't think he's out of touch with Iowans.
We'll see. I don't think so either, but
I don't think he has
certainly that what.
I don't think he has a viable candidacy going forward. I don't even think he's in the conversation really.
All right. We want to thank Eddie for being
Thank you.
with us.
Been my
You
pleasure.
guys can hang. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we're going to. We've still got Steve Holt with us. We've got Kevin Halens.
Alon's. Yep.
Alon's, got to say your name right. Kevin Alons, State Senator, Iowa District 7, and Jim Carlin, who was running for U.S. Senate, trying to upset, I guess, the common knowledge in D.C. I'm just giving you the D.C. perspective because that's where I live. So I'm inside the bubble in the White House every day. Common knowledge is Hinson is going to be the nominee. That's common knowledge. Or the thinking
In DC.
inside the Beltway.
Yeah.
Where I live.
We know that reality's a little
Insiders.
distorted there.
Well, that's why we come out here, dude. Right? Because you
glad
get
you
a
came
certain
out.
perspective in D.C. The Saxman knows this, that you don't get when you come out and talk to people, which is why we're here. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. I got J. Ron Smith coming up, bottom of the hour. One of my other favorite topics, Safe Supervision Act. We're going to be talking to J. Ron, former senior White House official, and an FOJ. You know what an FOJ is, Andrew?
No, sir.
I mean, Eddie Andrews, friend of John. Very, very select club. Saxman's in it.
Friend of John.
FOJ, friend of
I
John.
got you to 8.
Under a dozen. You're on the John Fredericks Media Network. FOJ, J. Rod Smith coming up. We're going to be right back. We got the Iowa gang. You're on the John Fredericks Media Network. I am your Godzilla of the truth in America, your oracle of the deplorables. Day 4 bus tour about to wrap here in a few minutes. J. Ron Smith coming up, and my FOJ, he's coming up, former White House senior assistant to the president on domestic policy, coming up on safer supervision. In a minute, couldn't have a bus tour here without my good friend Chris Saxman joining us through Iowa. We're learning a lot, Sax. This has been tons 4 days. This is why you come here.
Exactly.
Different
What
perspective.
did I tell you? Knock on doors.
Even politically, from Jim Carlin running against Ashley, I get in the Beltway, I get in the all they're telling me is that's a done deal. Hinson's going to win. Trump backed her, got to win the seat. No time for games. And now we find out she got beaten in a straw poll and backed. We backed. What's her name, Haley? That's pretty funny.
Well, and then we figured out how hot eminent domain
Eminent
is.
domain.
And we fought this, 15 years ago in Virginia?
Yeah, now eminent domain in this this scam monopoly pipeline is your number one issue out here. It's pretty amazing.
It's
So
intense.
and now more than ever we think that I was the epicenter of the MAGA movement, and we're going to choose who carries the mantle. That's why you got to go to our straw poll. Got to go to our straw poll. I know that my good friend, my new best friend here. How do I say your last name again? Anand?
My name? Alon's.
Yeah.
Alon's.
I can't get it straight. What's your first name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Such
Let's
a
just
good,
call you
such
Kevin.
a good friend. You
I just
know
can't.
neither of his names.
Alons.
Alon's.
Alon's.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Senator. State. Look, it's been a long week, but Kevin Alons. Is that right?
It is
FOJ.
good enough.
Damn.
FOJ
Kevin-
number
Yeah.
9.
There you go.
Kevin
there you go.
Alons is going to be
FOJ.
my new FOJ. State Senator, District 7 with us. Also, Chris Saxman, obviously we all know him, and Jim Carlin, candidate for U.S. Senate, former state senator that is running for U.S. Senate, and that'll be decided in the June 2nd primary. And he's running against Ashley Hinson, who is Congresswoman in Iowa. So if she wins, you're going to have a special, right? Because she'll have to, that'll be November if Hinson wins.
That'll be
Yeah.
November, but-
Yeah, it'll be a long time off.
Well, you know Richard Barnes.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
the
yeah,
host, right?
yeah.
He basically said she can't win.
Can't win what?
She cannot win in a U.S. Senate race in Iowa straight up against the Democrat nominee.
Why?
Because I think there's a
Well,
lot of reasons. I think a
the
lot of
White
it is
House thinks she can
credibility.
win, but that's, I don't know, good for Barris, but the White House political office endorse Hinson because she thinks she's the best candidate to save Joni Ernst's seat. So, I mean, that's like counter to, I mean, these guys in there, I got to tell you, they're smart, Chris. Those guys are smart.
Well,
The
they're very
political operation that Trump's got in that White House, those guys are smart.
Of course they are.
Blair, Matt Prasad,
But-
all the way down to the deputies and the guy that handles
Look,
Iowa's
anyone
Marshall.
can- look,
I mean,
I-
these
I-
guys know what's going on.
John, I read polls almost every day. I do the crosstabs, I dig deep, messaging, demographics, the whole bit. Yeah, they are smart. But what some of those polls don't pick up on, when they do the national poll, they come in here and do a poll, they don't pick up on issues like eminent domain. They don't. They don't pick up on those issues. And what those things can turn elections because elections get real tight, especially in a tight midterm. So, you know, which redounds to the benefit of whoever the nominee is. Is why it's healthy in a two-party system to have two healthy parties so they can have an honest discussion of the issues that are of concern to the people and how to solve them. That's what the political process is all about. And if you don't engage in it, you're going to lose. So you can run your polls from DC, send in the phones, I mean the phone calls and the texts here, and have the polls done. But the value of having John Fredericks on the ground is saying to the folks in Iowa, because Iowa 4, that's the heartbeat of the nomination. Iowa 4 is it. I mean, Chris McGowan made that case the other night at dinner. He's going to be a congressman up there. I think he's a rising star nationally. But when you take the information that we got at dinner, sitting down with people, breaking bread quite literally, and discussing what's on the minds of Iowa voters, that's what's important. Not the first poll a year out.